Hey there, trail trekkers and tall tale seekers. You're tuned in to the 406 Life, the podcast where Montana Max, your Bigfoot buddy and outlaw gear mascot, yeah, that's me, leads you through the wild, weird, and wonderful corners of Montana. Each week we share stories, legends, and laughs from the last best place. So grab your boots and sense of adventure, because we're about to make some Montana-sized memories. This episode's powered by Outlaw Gear, where rebels get their style. Want to look legendary? Mosey over to I'mAnOutlaw.com and claim your outlaw status. Welcome, wanderers, wild hearts, and stone-kicking truth seekers. You're tuned into the 406 Life, and today's episode is a real jaw-dropper, lost world beneath our boots. Now, if you thought Montana was just cowboys, cow pies, and snowdrifts deep enough to lose your pickup, let me tell you, there's a whole world of mystery right under your dusty boots. I'm Montana Max, your host, Bigfoot in residence, and today's tour guide to the stony secrets hiding just out of sight. They say a Bigfoot never gets lost, but I can sure tell you, I've tripped over a fair share of these rocks out in the Boulder Batholith. Let's get right to the root of it. Are we living on top of lost cities? Did ancient giants stack stones before breakfast? Or is this just geology, gone wild with a sense of humor and a cruel streak for tripping up unsuspecting hikers? Stick with me, 'cause by the end of this, you'll see why the real magic of Montana is what's beneath your boots, not just what's in your Instagram feed. So here's how the story goes. Roll the clock back 75 million years, give or take a squatch decade or two. The only traffic jam in Montana was a bunch of triceratops looking for a mud puddle. But down below, the real drama was cooking. Molten rock, magma if you want to sound smart at the bar, was pushing its way up under the crust. It couldn't get out, so it just sat there, stewing like a cowboy at a vegan barbecue, until it slowly cooled into a monster slab of granite. And that, my friends, is how the Boulder Batholith was born. This thing is massive. I'm talking nearly 2,000 square miles of rock. That's bigger than the appetite of a butte miner at an all-you-can-eat buffet. It stretches under Butte, Helena, Basin, Whitehall, and even out to where I keep my favorite hidey hole. If you've ever stubbed your toe on a trail in southwestern Montana, odds are you've met the Batholith, though maybe not on the best terms. But it's not just one flavor of rock. The Boulder Batholith is like nature's potluck dinner, mostly quartz monzonite, but with enough feldspar, uranium, thorium, and sparkly bits to make any geologist drool. The slow cooling underground is what makes those crystals big enough to spot with your bare eyes, if you're not too busy trying to outrun the mosquitoes. Now here's where things get wild. All that granite got shoved up toward the surface over millions of years. The pressure drops, the rock expands, and boom, giant cracks everywhere. Not just any cracks, neither. I'm talking straight lines, right angles, and shapes so regular they'd make a mason jealous. Geologists call it orthogonal jointing. I call it proof Mother Nature played a lot of dominoes. Throw in a million freeze-thaw cycles, because Montana winters are basically just Mother Nature showing off, and you get boulders that break apart, round off, and stack up like a giant's unfinished game of Jenga. Which brings us to the real heart of today's lost world, the Sage Wall. Now, the Sage Wall ain't your ordinary outcropping. Picture a granite face stretching 275 feet, standing 24 feet high with stones so big you'd need a dozen Bigfoots and a pack mule just to nudge 'em. Some blocks are estimated at over 90 tons. That's heavier than my Aunt Marge's fruitcake, and let me tell you, that's no easy feat. Ready for your next Montana home? Visit mostwantedrealestate.net, because that's how the West is sold. The Sage Wall sits on private land, discovered back in the 90s by a couple looking to build an off-grid paradise. Little did they know, they'd trip over a mystery that would spark debates, documentaries, and probably a few awkward family dinners. There are nubs on the stones, cup marks you can fit a good-sized huckleberry in, and the wall itself runs straight enough to give a surveyor goosebumps. Some folks, alternative researchers, truth seekers, and the odd YouTube star, say the wall looks too organized to be natural. They talk about ground-penetrating radar showing the wall runs deep underground, sitting on a flat foundation. There are whispers of ancient giants, lost civilizations, and maybe a prehistoric squatch or two who skipped rock construction class. You'll hear folks compare the Sage Wall to the stonework at Sacsayhuaman in Peru, or the Cyclopean blocks of the Mediterranean. And let's be honest, the theory that Bigfoot built it with his bare hands is my personal favorite, though I can't take all the credit. I've got soft hands, wouldn't want to break a nail. Other folks come for the spiritual vibes. Some say the Sage Wall sits on a power spot, an energy vortex. I met a gal who said her phone charged faster sitting on one of those boulders. I tried it myself, but all I got was static and a weird tingle in my left toe. Your mileage may vary. But then the scientists show up, armed with rock hammers and skeptical eyebrows. They see the same Sage Wall and say, nope, it's just granite jointing. The courses of stone, natural stacking, the nubs and cup marks, that's what happens when water, ice, and time have a good long go at some quartz veins. As for that foundation underground, they'll tell you it's just a horizontal cooling plane, not a prehistoric basement. Here's the kicker. If ancient folks built a wall that big, where's the trash? I mean, I've been in the woods my whole life, and I've never seen a camp that didn't leave behind a little something. A fire pit, a flint chip, maybe a bone or two from last night's dinner. Around the Sage Wall, there's nothing. No tools, no pottery, not even a forgotten granola wrapper. If this was the work of a lost civilization, they cleaned up so good my mom would have hired them for spring cleaning. Now, let's head north to the Elkhorn Mountains, home of the Tizer dolmen. If the Sage Wall is Montana's Jenga set, the Tizer dolmen is our Stonehenge, two vertical stones capped with a horizontal slab, standing 28 feet tall and weighing more than a herd of buffalo. Alternative historians say it's aligned with the sun, maybe built by ancient astronomers or even giants. Some claim it's over 70,000 years old, protected from glacial scarring and the usual Montana abuse. Scientists, again, are a hard sell. They say give granite enough time in the right cracks, and you'll get all kinds of crazy shapes. Balancing rocks? That's erosion and gravity making magic. No tool marks, no quarry debris, just rocks doing what rocks do best, being rocks. Now let's throw another log on the campfire and talk about lost civilizations. Graham Hancock, bless his British heart, thinks Montana might have been home to an advanced society way before the pyramids. He says a comet hit Earth during the Younger Dryas, causing cataclysmic floods, like the famous Missoula floods that carved up the Northwest. Survivors, he says, spread out, teaching the world how to build in stone, watch the stars, and maybe stash a few secrets for squatches to trip over someday. He talks about memes. Not the kind with confused cats, but architectural ideas that spread from place to place. Similar stones, similar patterns, all across the globe. It's a theory that's as fun as a barrel of otters, but for now, it's just that, a theory. Need shipping, shredding, prints, or a real street address? Helena's locally owned and operated the UPS store has you covered, located at 2047 North Last Chance Gulch. Stop by and get it done right. The scientific crowd sticks to what they can prove. They call these formations geofacts, natural rocks that look a little too organized for comfort, but didn't need a single human or hairy builder to get that way. The Boulder Batholith's got millions of years, tectonic muscle, and more winter freeze-thaw than most of us could handle. That's enough to make a lot of weird shapes without any help from Bigfoot. Now, before we go thinking Montana invented all the mysteries, let's tip our hats to the real old-timers, the Salish, Kootenai, and Blackfeet. Their stories speak of spirits in the land, lessons in the mountains, and the sacredness of wild places. Archaeologists find traces of their camps, stone tools, fire-cracked rocks, and the like, but nothing on a megalithic scale. Their wisdom reminds us, sometimes a rock is just a rock, and sometimes it's a whole world in itself. Still, the lost world beneath our boots draws in the dreamers. The sage walls become a tourist hotspot. You can pay $100 for a tour, meditate with the granite, or just snap a photo to show your friends back home. Some call it sacred, others call it a moneymaker. Either way, it's proof Montana's stories are bigger than any of us. And the rocks, well, they're just sitting back soaking up the attention. I get emails from folks asking if the Sage Wall is really man-made. My answer? It's as man-made as my great-uncle's fishing stories. Possible, but highly unlikely. If you're looking for evidence of ancient tools or lost civilizations, you'll find more in a Butte pawn shop than under those boulders. Should you go see it? Absolutely. Montana's full of wonders, and sometimes the journey is the best part of the legend. So, what's the truth about the lost world beneath our boots? It's a mix of geology, imagination, and the pure, stubborn magic of Montana. These rocks remember more than any of us ever could. Whether you believe in lost giants, ancient masons, or just the power of wind and water, one thing's for sure. Montana will keep you guessing, laughing, and wondering what's waiting under your boots. If you enjoyed wandering through the lost world beneath our boots, do old Max a favor. Smash that 5-star rating, share this show with your friends and family, and help a lonely Bigfoot feel the love out here in podcast land. The more you share, the less lost this world gets. And trust me, Bigfoot needs all the love he can get, especially when it comes with a side of huckleberry pie. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your Montana wisdom. Until next time, keep your boots dry, your heart wild, and never trust a rock that winks at you. Montana Max, over and out. Got a Montana story, business, or unsolved mystery you want on the show? Head to the406life.com and drop me a line. No smoke signals required. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a stomp, stumble, or tall tale. Tell your friends, tell your grandma, heck, tell that guy who swears he saw me near Whitefish. I was just buying donuts, all right? Until next time, keep it outrageous, keep it kind, and keep living the 406 life. Montana Max, over and out.
That's the